welcome to this episode of Ask the Expert. Today with me, bowling expert Pat, and we're inside Emery Lane's pro shop to find out what ball you should get and how you get fitted and all that stuff, because there's more to it than just picking up a ball, right?
Yes. Kaila, on the wall, we have a large selection of bowling balls.
Okay.
We actually have them arranged in a way to try to help the customers make a choice of what they want. On the far right over here, we have our polyester bowling balls.
Ooh, that one's really sparkly.
These are the balls that we've seen in the bowling market since 1962.
Oh, wow.
They are gorgeous balls. They last a long time, but they don't have a porous shell. They're not a performance ball. They have very little hook potential.
What are they made out of?
The shells on these balls are made out of polyester.
Okay.
So it's not a porous material. It won't help grab the lanes.
Interesting.
The pros will use these as a ball just to shoot spares. Or they're good for people beginning. They don't want to invest a lot of money right off the bat and want to see if they like the sport or not.
Okay.
The next step up, this next row, is going to be our entry-level reactive balls. They're the first balls that have the reactive urethane shell that is porous and that can help grab the lanes, get through some of the oil, grab the lanes, a little bit like tread on a tire on a car.
So these will be the ones that will hook?
These are the first ones that have appreciable hook potential, yes.
Okay.
Balls have the potential to hook. Depending on how you throw it, you could make any ball on the wall go straight, but some balls have more potential to hook than others.
Okay.
As we come over to this side, we have our performance balls, and prices on these will range from $120 to $230. These are the ones that our serious league bowlers or the professionals will use.
Why is these not shiny, whereas those were, that one
Well,
is?
you'll find that some of these are shiny and some of these aren't. And the shiny balls have a tendency to save energy the first part of the lane. So when they make a hook, they'll start hooking later down the lane, but they'll have the tendency to be able to hook sharper because they still have more energy at the point it changes direction. The duller balls are normally used for lane conditions where it's more oil because they can start hooking sooner. However, the trade-off is because they use energy quicker, their shot's more of a continuous hook instead of a defined point. Almost like the dull balls will be like a banana-shaped hook. The shiny balls will be more of a hockey stick-shaped hook.
Oh, wow.
And for the pros, they'll actually try to match up what angle seems to knock down the pins better.
So is it different people do better with different balls, or is it
Different people
preference?
Different people, depending on their style and their speed and their rotation, will do better with different balls. And at the top levels, certain lane conditions will call for different shape shots. Much like your pro golfers can fade a ball right to left or left to right to get on the right part of the course, the pro bowlers will actually be looking for a certain angle into the pins to help knock down the pins in that particular bowling center.
Interesting.
So that's basically the difference in the balls.
Oh, sorry.
Where really the science gets in here is how we fit the ball so that you can hold the ball comfortably and bowl lots of games and have a lot of fun.
Now, I usually do the cosmic bowling. What type of ball would you recommend for that?
For the cosmic bowling, we actually have on order right now some of our entry-level reactive balls that will glow under the black lights.
Nuh-uh.
So you'll be able to sit there and watch them glow all the way down to the pins.
So you can come get your ball and show up all your friends because you have the cool glow-in-the-dark ball.
Absolutely,
Nice.
Absolutely. So
all right, well, yeah, show
let's
me
get you over to fitting. When we fit the ball, we custom fit the ball for each customer because your hand isn't going to be the same shape as my hand, and we don't use a generic template like is used for the house balls. We don't know who's going to use that ball, so we can just guess. Here, I can sit there and fit for your hand. First thing I do is I start with your thumb, so stick out your thumb and say ah. And what I do is I'm going to try to find the hole that will fit through, but it's very snug.
Okay.
We always start a little snug because we can always make a hole bigger.
Right.
Making a hole smaller is a trick. So we will go and we will check. And one thing you'll notice is this one's rubbing right here at the sides of your knuckle, but it's very loose this way on your thumb.
Right.
Your thumb's like most people, it's not round, it's a little oval.
Okay.
And what we can do is we'll come down and we'll try to find one that will fit this direction, and we can cut an oval hole with our drill press because it's a milling machine.
Oh.
So I will start with that drill bit, which was a 13/16, and then I will shift it over and down so that we can make it oval to match
So
your
you guys
thumb.
actually match your fingers to the
Yes.
holes. Cool.
Yeah. So we'll write it down 13/16 with an oval. In your case, I'm going to guess it's about 40 thousandths of an inch. All right, now show me your middle finger. I'll take no offense here. Okay. With the fingers, we want to get as close to the crease as we can without going past it. So that one goes by a little bit. That one stops right before the crease.
Okay.
So that's the size we would use to start, and that's at 23-30 seconds. All right, for your ring finger, just hold your hand this way and just pop up your ring finger. And we're doing the same thing as we did on the middle finger.
So you want it to stop right before the crease?
Yep, and right there, a 43-64. So that's step one, we have the hole sizes.
Okay.
Step two is we need to find out how far apart to put the holes.
Okay.
What I'm gonna have you do is put your thumb in all the way and put your middle finger on the rim. We're gonna measure twice. If you took shop class, one of the things that the shop teacher always says is if you measure twice, you only have to cut once. On the bowling ball, we only get one chance.
Yeah.
So what I do is I'm looking to where your crease comes, and I'm gonna pull it just a little bit, but I'm gonna take off a 1/16 of an inch afterwards also. All right, take your hand out, shake it out real good. A lot of people, once their hand loosens up a little bit, will stretch a little bit better. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna see if you stretch a little bit better the second time. And you actually came out about a 1/16 of an inch further that time.
Oh, wow.
So, okay, go ahead. And that's gonna be 3 1/4 inches. Now for the difference in the fingers, we're gonna use this ball to help us. Put your hand on the ball with your fingers together.
Okay.
Then we're gonna lift your hand off, turn it over, keeping your hand curved like it's on the shell of the ball.
Like that?
Yep. And lift it up, turn it over, keeping your hand curved. Okay, and I'm going to measure the difference in those creases, which I can already see in your case. It's not very much.
Cool.
And what we look for is the difference here. And for an average size hand, we're going to use 5/16 of an inch difference as our base. If your ring finger is 5/16 shorter than your middle finger, the spans will actually be the same because your ring finger is further away from your thumb. The more or less it is than that 5/16, the more or less the difference in those two fingers will be. Okay, so that's the second part. We've got our spans, the distance apart. Last thing we need to do is find out the pitches, which are the angles we're going to drill the holes. And for this, we look at your flexibility and your range of motion.
Okay.
So first of all, hold your hand out like this. Okay, and I want you to relax your thumb. I'm going to see how far under that thumb naturally goes before it starts to resist. All right, now hold your hand up like this. Okay, now a lot of our guys did this, and that's why they're in the service today. But we're going to see how far your thumb goes sideways and front to back for range of motion. So relax your thumb again. And your thumb has got excellent flexibility, better than average.
Learn something new every day, right?
All right, now for your fingers, we're going to go back to having the hand up again. And what I want you to do is bend down and touch this pad here with your fingertips. No, not the palm. There you go. I'm going to turn this just a little bit so I can see. What I'm looking for is how straight your fingers come down. And yours are good and straight. Now go ahead, open them back up, and I want you to relax your fingers. We're going to see how well each of them bend. All righty. And again, you haven't messed up your fingers very much, so they're in good shape. You get a hand like mine where I have arthritis, and you can see where one finger bends and one finger doesn't. Don't get arthritis if you can help it.
Hopefully not.
Now, so I've got all the measurements. There's a couple markings on the ball that we look at to see where to drill the hole. The yellow pin on this ball, and all the performance balls will have a colored pin like this. That's where they held the weight block in place in the mold when they poured the shell material. When they make the balls, they make the core first, then they make the inner shell, then they make the outer shell that you see.
Okay.
And so when they suspend the weight block, they suspend it from the top of the block. So this tells us where the top of the weight block is pointing. Okay, this mark here shows us where the center of gravity in the ball is. If we cut the ball in half in any direction through that mark, the two halves weigh the same. Very important for any of our league bowlers because the sanctioning body for the leagues only allows a 1 ounce difference left to right, a 1 ounce difference finger to thumb, and a 3 ounce difference top to bottom on the ball.
Okay.
A little bit more on the top because we don't know how big people's hands are and how much weight those holes are going to take out. So those give us where we want to lay out the ball to create the type of roll that the bowler's looking for.
Interesting.
So, and that is how we sit there and get the ball set up directly for you, not just for a generic template, but for how your hand goes and for how your game is.
Right, so that's it?
That's it.
That was fast.
Yep. Then it takes us about 10 to 15 minutes on the drill press, depending on how much work, how much ovaling we need to do, what type of layout, and in all honesty, how busy we are.
Okay, cool.
So.
Well, thank you so much, Pat.
You're welcome.
And that's it for this edition of Ask the Expert. So come on over to Emery Lane's Pro Shop, get a brand new ball, show up your friends in Cosmic Bowling, or if you're more serious for the leagues, and they'll take care of you over here. So we'll see you next time. Bye.